Returning to base.
Hi guys, it's Mew2King
and Salem.
and today we're going to be talking about who is the best space animal in Ultimate. Space animals are Fox, Falco, and Wolf. So the origins for the word space animals is basically in Melee, Fox and Falco were two characters from Star Fox, and they're both very, very good characters. They're both top tier characters, and people usually refer to them, that group of top tiers, or the group of two top tiers, Fox and Falco, as the space animals. And ever since Melee, it's just been a term that's just pretty much stuck around. And then now in Ultimate, you just add Wolf to it, and that's the three space animals.
They also have a very similar movesets, and throughout the Smash games, Falco, for example, has had his moveset changed several times. And Wolf used to be part of the cast till Smash 4, and then he came back later for Ultimate. It's a little weird because there was no reason for them to get rid of him because everyone's here now anyway. So what was the point? But Wolf is pretty much the most different out of all of them.
All three characters have very different attributes and traits in addition to moves. For example, Fox runs very fast, Falco jumps very high. Each character has very unique moves, and they also play very differently. It's been like this since Melee, where Fox and Falco played very differently, but now the differences are even probably more pronounced, in my opinion.
They all have a blaster, they all have a reflector, they all have illusion, and they all have a fire named move for some reason, even though Wolf's not.
Wolf's is not.
Yes.
Is it a fire?
It's called Fire Wolf, or at least that's what people call it.
It is called Fire Wolf. What the heck? That's so stupid.
See, I told you it makes no sense.
That's so stupid. Why is this uppy called Fire Wolf? I mean, Fire Bird at least made sense because Falco was on fire. Wolf is not on fire at all. He literally just kicks. Now we're going to break down each character one by one. So for Falco, his strengths include really good neutral in the sense that he can laser you if you try to camp him. He can also reflector you if you try to camp him. So his neutral is good against characters who have projectiles. Because if you're trying to throw projectiles at him the whole time, between his reflector, patient play, and lasers, he has a lot of ways to deal with it and camp you back. He also has very good edge guarding. His forward air is very good at edge guarding. That's pretty much the main reason his edge guarding is so good, actually, because the forward air has a pretty good base knockback as well as knockback growth and beats a lot of different moves. So it's very effective, especially against like heavyweights, because they usually have like a bad recovery. You can just forward air them and they just usually won't make it back, or you can keep doing it over and over. His combo game on heavies is also exceptional. So you can do like up tilt over and over again, and a lot of characters don't have like a quick special B move or nair to break out of it really quick. So you can just frame trap and or combo them really, really hard. And then you could just pretty much keep up tilting until it stops working, and then spam up air and do up air frame traps, and then finish off the combo with a back air. And then they're off stage and you forward air them. So he's very good against specific types of matchups as well. So I think that he has a lot going for him.
And now for Falco's weaknesses, it's mainly things like trading. He's not very good with trading, considering like almost all his moves are multi-hit. So if he trades for like a second, it can go really bad. And there's no stun, so they'll get all the positional advantage and everything. And you'll possibly still be in like a long hit stun, and they can combo off that. So let's say, if for whatever reason Falco's up tilt trades, it gets really, really bad. Besides that, Falco is also pretty slow, but it's just like, it's not too bad just because of his strengths covered those things, like he has disjoints, those types of things. But certain matches where the characters are like really fast or like have safe on shield moves, it gets kind of really horrible for Falco, because you're just sitting there being like, oh, I can't move, I have to roll away. Oh, I can't move, I have to jump out. Like, things like that happens all the time. And then the last part, of course, is him being off stage and getting edge guarded, because his recovery is not exactly the best. He pretty much gets carried very hard by his double jump. But if he doesn't have his double jump, he's pretty much forced to side B to the ledge, since his up B is just like, it's just a worse version of Fox's. So usually most Falcos would just side B to the ledge. So his recovery pretty linear, so it's pretty easy to edge guard him as well.
Now we will talk about Fox. Fox has been a very successful character in both USA and then recently Japan through players like Light and Paizoman. But Fox's strengths include a very good neutral because he's so fast. He can, if you're at a distance from him, kind of like Falco, he has lasers for quick damage. They don't offer stun, but it's free damage if they're trying to camp you, and a reflector to also deal with camping. Actually, all the spacies can do this stuff, but Fox can also get in your face very fast. So let's say you're trying to fight like a hero or someone, and he's like trying to pick his menus. You can just pick Fox and run up in his face and do mix-ups that you play like a rock, paper, scissors game, but like you don't give them the time to set up their camping. So characters who need time to set up their camping, Fox can like run over them. The running speeds are a great benefit because it allows you to combo, and it also allows you to get from point A to point B really fast, which can do for combos, frame traps, or just any situation, like just winning neutral, getting position, just having good running speed is really important. In addition to that, he has the most consistent kill confirms at a low percentage because of up smash. You could just do a raw up smash, or you can literally just combo it into the up smash. I know kill around 100% after hit against a lot of characters. So if you're at like 100, you might just die. Fox also has a great mix-up game in the sense that besides just looking for a raw up smash, he could do forward throw at high percent into a tech chase up smash or ledge trap if he knows you keep shielding, because you can just keep shielding and then like, oh, well, Fox can't kill me. But then he can just grab you, throw you to the ledge, and then it's like a tech chase or 50-50 tech chase, or if you're off stage, now you get ledge trapped and you're in more disadvantage. Fox can also nair to up smash, which is like the staple main way to kill. I talked to Light about this at Summon. He said that, yeah, that's pretty much the main way Fox kills. But you can also empty land grab, as I said, but another third mix-up not many people talk about is down air to grab. So let's say you're Bowser and you're trying to block Fox's nair and then punish with like power shield side B, or punish with up air to shield or something, or even game watch and do the same thing, for example. If you release your shield, you get hit by that multi-hit of down air. So basically what I'm saying is, assuming the opponent tries to attack quickly out of shield, if you know that they're in that mindset of attacking quickly out of shield, you just mix up landing nair and landing down air. Just jump, wait a little bit so that they can't react to the mix-up, and then you just do landing down air. By the time, if they're expecting nair, they're already doing their buffered up B, then the landing hits a down air, hits them, guess what? That combos to up smash. So he has a lot of ways to get you with up smash or get you at a disadvantage. So he has a lot of ways to get that kill. Not to mention his combos and frame traps are really good. In a way, it's both better and worse than Falco's. I'd say it's probably better overall. Might be not as broken against heavies, but like really, really good against like every single other character. It's just good across the board.
And now for Fox's weaknesses, we'll start with his weight. His weight is like, I believe he's like third lightest character. He's very light. It looks like he
Jigglypuff, Kirby, Game & Watch have to be the lightest.
Let me check again.
No,
I gotta double check.
And then Pichu.
It's because I was talking to Fox players and they were complaining about it. It was like, oh yeah, Fox is actually extremely light.
He's tied for 5th and 6th.
5th and 6th?
He's tied with Mewtwo for 77 weight.
Kirby's heavier? Wait, the heck?
Oh my god, Kirby's heavier!
Okay, anyway, Fox is like, what was it, top 5 lightest?
Yeah, tied for 5th and 6th with Mewtwo, 77.
That's pretty light. So
5th, 6th lightest.
But also another thing to add along that is that it's easy to combo him because he's a fast faller. So that combination is really jank. So let's say you're around like 40 and you get back aired by like Joker or send Joker back air near the side. You're probably just going to explode and shatter into a million pieces. Because Fox being a fast faller as well, how he recovers is kind of... It's linear in the ways of it being like, oh, he has to get to a certain spot really quickly, but in union of the person getting to that spot, it's like, oh, this option isn't there no more. Like, if you want a side B and they're already next to the edge, you're probably not going to be able to pick that option. Because if you pick that option, you're just going to get hit by anything.
A big thing is that you can just block all 3 spacies side Bs and then punish.
Oh, yeah, that is another thing. They nerfed side B. But that's a different story. They nerfed side B. He can also mix up with his up B, but the only problem with that is, like, for some reason, Fox's hands is a little weird when it grabs the ledge, so it gets too from like so many things.
The way you
the way you
to the ledge,
yeah.
Like, I don't remember the exact specific that was like the optimal way, but I know there's like a lot of different ways to grab the ledge that makes it like way easier or way harder, or just possible or impossible depending on what you're trying to do.
There's also that Fox also can't trade. Fox can't trade like at all. He sucks at it very badly. Like, because he has no disjoints. Like Falco at least has a little bit of disjoints, so like in comparison, it's just like, oh yeah, sometimes Falco won't trade, but like it's still gonna be bad. But it's like especially bad for Fox, because like let's say Bowser is above you and you want to up air him, you can do that. But if it trades for whatever reason, you're gonna be extremely out of position. You're probably only gonna get like the first hit of up air, and then that's it.
That's why a lot of the time if Fox just mixes up the up air with the parry up tilts, he's like really, really good. He causes 50-50s or better for him, and he always gets a big reward when he gets it.
Another thing is like Fox doesn't get much off of throws. Like his throws are pretty much like Jigglypuffs. So it's just like, oh, you throw them, positional advantage. That's it.
But
you throw them
because both players know that you're gonna get more grabs than usual anyway.
Yeah, but it's like
full hop is a mix-up between Nair, empty land, and down air alone.
But it's so easy to condition Fox with those things because you can just be like, oh, I'm just gonna keep shielding everything. Because like another thing is Fox doesn't do a lot of shield damage, and it's like it's not the easiest for him to like shield poke someone.
Yeah, but that's why he just grabs you and four throws you, and then 50-50 for up smash, tech chase, or ledge trapping.
But even then, it's just like even if you were to do all that, all the person has to do is make one read on that, and you take a billion damage. Because that's all it takes, because Fox is extremely light, and he's a fast faller. It's lame. That's why characters...
He needs that weakness.
Yeah, but it's like characters with broken out shields are just like, oh, you touch my shield, I hit you. Oh, you keep trying to grab me. I'll just wait, mix up, spot dodge, attack cancel, and now you get blown up. It's just, they can spam those two things over and over and over until Fox dies, and they're just like, I can't do anything with Fox. Fox sucks. That's what happens with all the Fox players. They're just like, oh, I can't do anything because the people keep mixing up these two things, and now...
If Fox sucks, dude, no. With the amount of strengths he has, you can't say he sucks.
Well, I'm just saying, the Fox players say that.
Yeah,
me, I'm just like,
well,
they have mix-ups.
What I've noticed is actually the low-tier players are more optimistic of their characters a lot. But then, like, the people who play top tiers always say their character's bad.
It could also be that they don't want their characters nerfed, but that's a different story. So, anyway, that's all there is for weaknesses.
The next character we're going to talk about is Wolf. Wolf was really, really broken at the beginning of the game because he had a blaster with very little end lag. This is especially broken online. Offline, it was good, but online, it was completely broken to the point that you could just stand on a platform and do it over and over. It's like no punishment window. His down smash killed extra early, not just from knockback growth, but also from base knockback. In addition to that, he had this glitch where you could air dodge, and then you side B, and then there was no lag. And his up B also had a massive hitbox. All four of these things were either removed and or nerfed since then. And the effectiveness of Wolf as a result has dropped dramatically. Despite that, he's still an above-average character and still has a lot of the strengths of Fox and Falco, including things like good neutral. You have a blaster, combat whip from far range, a reflector to reflect things back. It doesn't reflect as early as Fox's, for example, but it hits a little bit harder. I think it's like 1.5 or 6 times back on power. And he has pretty good spacing overall. Like, you can space the fair, you can do like the lingering nair and stuff. Some of Wolf's other strengths include air mobility. He has very good left-right air mobility to get back into neutral, and he's pretty good at two-framing. It's not that easy to do super consistently. Like the way Zachary and Leo do it it's not as easy to do it that consistent with like downward angle F tilt and down smash, but it can still be very effective. If you want my honest thoughts on Wolf, I felt like he was amazing, which is why I tried to main him early. After 4 different nerfs and more experience offline and then more experience against good players, all these things made him slightly worse and then slightly worse and slightly worse again. So now I just feel like he's just an above-average character that's really good at like shutting down certain types of characters. Like if a character just relies on their projectiles a lot, like really relies on projectiles, he's really good at shutting that down. Although I guess Fox and Falco do the same thing technically. And if you're good at two-framing, if you think that you don't want to go off stage much, or when you do go off stage you do nair, but mostly if you just want to get the two-frame kills or the strong back air kills, if you think you're going to be good at that, or ending combos in the Wolf Flash, then that's how you're going to get most of your carries. But if you're not doing any of those 3 things, then it can be annoying. So like a lot of time you could kill them early if like, oh, end a combo of Wolf Flash, or just get the two-frame down smash, or get the strong back air, which Zachary is like a specialist at. But those are pretty much the main ways you're going to be killing early. So it's really, do you feel confident in getting those or not, is what it goes. A lot of it's going to come down to, in my opinion. I think that Wolf is kind of like a gatekeeper character. Like if your opponent is like all right, is like decent, then or below, it's Wolf can be very effective in making sure that you definitely beat them. But I feel like when it comes to super top level play, it's harder to get that upset. Not only does he not have jank, but there's also everybody knows the matchup, and he's literally a worse character than he was early on when the game came out. But yeah, those are my honest opinions on Wolf.
Moving on to Wolf's weaknesses, his recovery, it's kind of odd because like he has air mobility, but when he's below the stage, he's very susceptible to just straight up dying instantly. That's one of his main problems.
It used to be a strength, and then it became the opposite.
Oh yeah, because nerfs.
Before the up B would like usually beat you, and now you pretty much don't have to worry about it anymore. You can literally just attack it, and it's just not even worried.
Yeah, you can just straight up.
You just attack it and just disrespect it, and you'll be fine 90% of the time.
Wolf's up B is a little jank because it's just like they want you to move horizontal with it. They don't want you to really like. Well, you can move horizontal with it. It's just not the most effective if you're moving vertically.
It's just harder to make the timings because it doesn't go as far or last as long.
Like, let's say you try and go diagonal. You see the distance you go.
Yeah, no, it goes nowhere.
That's why they want you to be like, oh, you pick one raw direction, like straight vertical or straight horizontal. That's it. Even if you save your double jump, compared to the other space animals, like Fox and Falco, when they save their double jump, they can usually just be like, oh, guess what? I saved my double jump. Time to come back. For Wolf, because of like his air mobility and where he falls down to when you hit him, it's not enough. Because he can't just be like, oh yeah, I can just up B to the side here and just be fine. No, you can't. You can't just jump over here and then up B to the side here. No, you can't. Because like the second you get hit at that area, you're probably too far down already. Like pretty much almost anything, like literally as long as it's down there, you're probably gonna die. Wolf's outer shield is really, it's awkward. It's situational. Like, but if you fight like a character like Game Watch, you fight a character like Game Watch or like Bowser, oh god. It's just like very certain characters that it's just like, oh, if I can just touch your shield for free with like a little bit of something, just a little bit, and you don't have like a good outer shield, it's just like, you're probably just gonna be stuck there rolling and having bad habits, and then you can get punished and you're gonna die.
Yeah, the rolling thing is like, it's super broken online, and it's also broken against like most people. But then when you're fighting a good player offline, specifically good player and offline, then you're just gonna get punished for the roll. And the situation that you are used to working over and over, the opposite's gonna happen, and they're just gonna be like, oh, you're probably gonna roll here unless you're good at parrying.
The thing about Wolf is that when they fall out of kill percent for like your natural things,
you just gotta back throw it like 150.
Yes, you have to back
throw it like 150.
Like usually every single time, like that's the problem with Wolf and Fox. They're just like, oh, if they reach a certain percent, I can't kill them anymore.
So of these three space animals, in my opinion, I think the best one is Fox, both from theorycraft and results. Recently in a tournament in Japan, Pizerman won a big Japan tournament just a few days ago with Passeurman, I see evasive. Light has very good results in America throughout the entire year, and Light also keeps beating Zachary head-to-head. So both results and theorycraft support that Fox is consistently a very good character at top level.
Well, in my opinion, I think Falco's the best space animal. Just because of his like double jump, in my opinion, like the meta usually is just like, oh, can you dash up and hold shield and wait for them? Oh, can you spot dodge? Oh, can you roll? But currently right now, it's full hopping, and Falco's full hop is like, it's pretty much broken and can get you out of like any situation. But not many people pay attention to those small things. For Falco, you kind of can kill people earlier than you should. Like, let's say you do up throw, back air at like around the sides. You can kill some light characters at like 90. Like, you can just raw do that. But that's from a throw, and that's stupid because the other space animals don't really kill you from those. Wolf can. Wolf can, but it's very it's character specific, so you can't do it to everyone like down throw Wolf Flash. It won't work on every single character. There's very specific characters and at a very specific percent too. For Falco, he can just be like, oh yeah, I have all these combos, I have these kill setups, and they're consistent, and they don't really fall off. Even when the person's at very high percent, like they could be at like 130, and you can just be like, up tilt anyway, up air.
Yeah. And even if they get way higher than that, he can just keep frame trapping. But usually it's always good enough to kill combo with up airs and back airs after up throw or up tilts.
And one thing I also like about Falco is that his disjoints. The other space animals don't really have disjoints. Like Wolf kind of has it, but it's like there's an odd problem with it because people get in his space easily, and he's slow, and he doesn't really have multi-hits to be like, oh, my pressure is going to be like based off of me touching their shield and then getting a free shield poke. Falco can do that. Falco can do silly things like that. He can be like, what do I want to do to get out of this situation? Oh, I could just like get this free shield poke because I have forward air, I have nair, I have up tilt, because for some reason up tilt shield pokes you whenever it feels like it, when your shield starts getting low. And not to mention, if he doesn't want to overcommit, he can just down tilt, and that's also a kill move for some reason.
Dash away F tilt. F tilt's not bad for pokes. I actually also think that in theory, Falco could be the best. And when I think about it objectively, I've said this in other videos, but when I think about it objectively, he feels like he just has a lot of tools for a lot of situations. And one of the main things he has over Wolf and Fox that other characters don't is if your character does not have a great recovery, he literally just forward airs you, doesn't care, and you die. With Wolf's being nerfed 4 times, I actually have changed my opinion drastically over the past year. I think he's, before when he was either first or second, now I think he's either second or third. I think most likely he'll be third at endgame meta, unless the Wolf Flat combos into Wolf Flats become more consistent and reliable. I'm still going to give my answer to Fox because of results, because of Light's results, and also in both Japan and America, Foxes have been having the highest peaks. I think all the spacies are very close and debatable. I think the order right now would be Fox, Falco, Wolf, and in Theorycraft I could see Falco winning, but right now I'm going to order it Fox, then Falco, then Wolf. However, I honestly think all 3 are very close. And Falco is more of a situation where he completely destroys characters with a bad recovery, and that's one of the very important things to keep in mind. Fox is more about getting consistent kills on stage, because he usually kills with up smash upwards and does ledge trapping, where Falco is more about, they can both kill at 100 in different ways, like Fox gets the combo to up smash, Falco gets the combo to back air. But where it differs, Fox is more consistent at getting the kill consistently against any character, where Falco is more about, oh, is your recovery bad? Are you the half the cast that doesn't have a great recovery? Forward air, you just die. And that's one of the important differences. It's not only how good you are overall, it's that you're very good at specific things, which shuts down certain characters. Alright guys, thanks for watching our video. Let us know what other types of videos you guys want in the comments below, and please don't forget to hit the bell so you get more notifications on when we release more future videos. There's a new character series, so let us know if you liked it and what character series we should do next.